The era of woke is finally over. It's not going to be dead and buried, right? Like, we're not holding a funeral for it tomorrow. It'll eventually turn back around, but we got to wade through a bunch of silly stuff in the meantime. But even though the winds are slowly starting to bring about change, there are some people on the inside finally taking note of this stuff, meaning that, yeah, our optimism could potentially be rewarded. It's just going to be a little ways down the line. Dozens of financial advisors warn corporate America the DEI initiatives are a liability. Wow, the same people that were pushing this stuff years back are now finally saying, oh yeah, we should probably not do that because, yeah, it results in a billion-dollar disaster. Nobody's talking about 2 months after its second season conclusion. Whatever could I be talking about? Dozen of financial advisors warned corporate America that in the wake of Trump being elected the 47th president of the United States, that diversity, equity, and inclusion policies are now a liability. In an open letter urging corporations to get rid of DEI departments and policies, the financial advisor, who collectively manages over $16 billion in asset, declared this November the American electorate overwhelmingly rejected the ideological takeover of political and civic life by narrow-minded identity politics. Critical race theory and diversity, equity, and inclusion purport to promote belonging and inclusion, but in reality sacrifice true diversity and equal opportunity by focusing only on differences based on skin color, sex, and religious status. Next, they warned, it is now a liability for any institution to tout adherence to DEI ideology. Recent Supreme Court decisions have cast serious doubt on the legality of DEI, which has led to a full-scale illegal assault on DEI, according to the Wall Street Journal. The data underlying the push for DEI have been exposed as overstated at best, or worse, downright false. Financial analysts did not stop there. They predicted that the incoming administration, led by President Donald Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, will likely advance and enact policies to increase the risk of current DI policies at every corporation. How exactly are they going to do that? There's still, okay, for as powerful as Trump is going to be and for the great team that he's assembled around him, there's only so much that the federal government can do. There's that pesky 10th Amendment that is in the way that thankfully, curtailed a lot of the horror that Biden could have wrought upon us in the past 4 years, and any special interest and neocon warmongering that could potentially weasel its way into the Trump administration. Yeah, that will be sufficiently curtailed as well, but we'll see what else is going on here. While noting the liability and risk enacting and enforcing DI policies are, it also noted, yes, how rooted they are at major corporations throughout America. Citing the Alliance for Defending Freedom's Viewpoint Diversity Score, the letter revealed that 91% of scored companies rely on concepts like CRT in their employee training materials. Furthermore, it revealed that nearly 6 in 10 scored companies, 58%, currently imposed DI requirements on their vendors. That's kind of crazy. It just shows you how insular this business is, okay? It's not enough that they're doing their part for the agenda. They're only buying from companies that also adhere to said agenda. One that is just so vastly unpopular. Like, I mean, come on, take a look at the pictures that are being employed right here, okay? Captain Black Falcon, America Man, Brave New World that comes out in February. We don't know for sure if it's going to horrifically bomb, but the fact that it's going back for reshoots and that budget is somewhere north of $400 million, it's basically impossible to turn a profit. And Dragon Age the Veilguard, bro, do we even need to go any further into that? And all of those companies. And then we got Concord right there. If it wasn't for Concord getting refunded and Firewalk Studios being shut down, Dragon Age the Veilguard would be the biggest flop of 2024. Me personally, I would argue it, especially when you take a look at the studio where it was at and its fall from grace. Like, it's going to serve as the example. A lot of people weren't hip to BioWare falling off hard with Mass Effect Andromeda, but now this Veilguard nonsense has really driven it home. But yeah, that also underscores just how wildly unimportant these policies are, because it never, ever enriches a company. It's the long-term health and viability. It never prospers. It's a short-term money grab and a virtue signaling contest that never produces wins. Every single company that goes down this ideological journey eventually ends up destitute. Take a look at what's happening with Ubisoft. Take a look at what's happening, yes, with the previously mentioned BioWare, Concord, Firewalk Studios, Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy. So no, this isn't just simply an entertainment problem. It's a global problem. Businesses don't just exist to make a profit. Business leaders and investors act out of a strong desire to improve people's lives and better the human condition, the letter stated. But the failure to properly communicate the virtues necessary for the proper functioning of capitalism, embodied in the fictional Gordon Gekko and his mantra "greed is good," can foster a perception of a moral vacuum. And it is exactly the kind of practice that allowed ideologies like DEI to infiltrate corporations in the first place. So yeah, there you have a multitude of examples and everything that has failed this year and is set to fail in the very near future. So why on God's green earth would a Jaguar decide to do something so inept as this? Now, this is an ad that just popped up on X Tuesday morning, and everybody looked at it. Like, you take a look at the impressions it has right now, 11.5 million views, and I don't want to spoil anything, but you can take a look at that ratio, and it has been a long time since I've seen something that horrific. But okay, you know Jaguar, and I'm sure at one point in time you've probably eyeballed one of their vehicles and went, ooh, that's a slick looking automobile. I think at one point in time they were definitely one of the finest exports to come out of the UK, but in recent years, well, let's just put it this way. I had a family member who had one of the crossovers. I forget, it's just letters at this point in time. No car company has cool names for any of their vehicles anymore. It's all just boggle pop of numbers and letters, but I digress. And because all of these new vehicles out there are so heavily reliant on computer systems, whenever anything messes up, yeah, it may or may not, I don't know, properly turn on, even though everything is totally functional. It's just the computer's having a bad day, or unprompted, oh, I don't know, hit the accelerator and drive into a building. Not necessarily saying that's exactly what happened to a family member of mine, but yeah, my likelihood of purchasing a Jaguar in the future, yeah, it is precipitously fell off. And that was a feeling that a lot of people had on Tuesday when they seen this, because, okay, cool, you got a brand new relaunch for your car company, and you decide to do that, and I'll spare you the ear cancer inducing music underneath of this, and just let you know, this is supposed to be a car commercial. Okay, copy nothing, huh? Leave the ordinary. Okay, what's with all? Yo, what the hell? Kind of a. I'm at a loss for words. I don't know, and it's the worst stuff that has been coming out in recent years, all condensed into a Jaguar commercial. Like, what are we doing, dude? Okay, and that's the similar sentiment that's under there. And yeah, of course, Elon Musk comes in and ratios the bejesus out of them. Do you sell cars? Yeah, exactly, because there's no cars in this. There's nothing. There's just the only thing that could be tangentially connected to this. If you had no idea, it's like, okay, cool, copy nothing. That's what your bio is now. Instead of people knowing this is a car company, you would have no idea what they're actually trying to sell. But yeah, as Elon asked, do you sell cars? Yes, we'd love to show you. Join us at out for a cuppa in Miami on the 2nd of December. Warmest regards, Jaguar. Yeah, exactly. Where's the car? The story is unfolding. Stay tuned, and you can see how many responses they have under here. And bro, they kind of know that they stepped in it. Okay, Jaguar hits back at critics of new DEI rebrand ad that doesn't feature any cars. Yeah, this is not good. But this also reinforces not just that DEI is cancer on a company. It's that it's not so much get woke, go broke. It's go broke, get woke, and then croak. Shout out Razor Fist. The British car maker Jaguar has hit back at critics for their rebrand after they released an advert without any cars in it or any attractive people, because that was also, you know, a very, very front and center. It's like you got old, you got ugly, and you got androgynous. Like, okay, and then you also got scarecrow hair out there. It's like, okay, cool. So what is this? Was this a casting call for Batman supervillains? Like, what are we doing out here? Okay, that looks like something that was plucked directly out of like 2018. The manufacturer unveiled a new logo on Tuesday, which, oh my god, like, that's one thing. Like, Jaguar has the greatest, it has one of the sleekest, simplest logos, and you decide to toss it away for basic font. I hate the minimalist redesign that so many companies have underwent. This isn't even the worst automobile manufacturer redesign. Kia, a couple of years back, it's like, what did you do? It's 3 letters and you made it so triangular and incomprehensible. Like, what are you doing? Stop with the goofy fonts. Posting a video to their social media site. Yes, the ad shows a group of models. You can loosely term them models, dressed in bright and flamboyant clothing. The ad occasionally pops up with a text reading, create exuberant, live vivid, delete ordinary, break molds, copy nothing, live, die, consume, obey. Oh no, that would be if John Carpenter made a Jaguar ad. As it does so, the characters can be seen grabbing at sledgehammers, painting over the screen, and posing for photographs in sync. Social media users, including the likes of Elon Musk, have been quick to point out that the ad offers no suggestion that the company sells cars. Yeah, it's 30 seconds. And there's not even an illusion, okay? And even if they were doing this big, new, bold ad strategy, this whole new relaunch, you would kind of want to let people know exactly what your end goal is. You would want to have some teases in there. You would want to at least have some sort of a cohesive through line, because outside of that, like, I don't know, are you marketing a new SSRI? Like, I don't know. Responding to one user who posted X asking, where are the cars in this ad? Is this for fashion? The company replied, think of this as a declaration of intent. That, yeah, Jaguar, not about this anymore, okay? Which is, oh man, like, that's a beautiful ass car. You don't see them anymore. And the fact that they're taking away the cat head and replacing it with something that doesn't look too dissimilar to a Michael Kors logo, like, you know your target audience, okay? Yeah, you're trying to rebrand as an EV brand. Fantastic stuff. You want to move away from European muscle and you want to go towards European electric. No, that's not going to work. Take a look at your contemporaries. Hell, take a look at your parent company, Ford Motors. They've also had a bitch of a time trying to break into the EV market, so you totally jettison your potential consumer base by doing this kind of wonky shit. It lets you know. It lets you know that the tide is turning, that at least the critiques, the ratio out there is glorious, and it shows, yes, it is in fact a statement of intent. Probably not the one that Jaguar was hoping for, but simply letting you know that this shit isn't flying anymore. The change is upon us. It's just, unfortunately, gonna sacrifice a few things that you used to love. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.